2019 has just started, and we already have a contender for the best anime of the year in The Promised Neverland. Now, in this video, I want to go over the opening, which is actually very good at keeping secrets and twists out of it, unless you have read the source material, the manga, which right now is at 116 chapters. So, before I go any further, there is a spoiler warning because I will go into stuff that is in the anime, but also in the manga that has been revealed, that might not even be revealed in this season. But just watch this video if you've already read the manga, or if you want to be spoiled, or wait until the very end of the anime and then watch it. So without further ado, here we go. In the opening scene, we see a lantern that speedily illuminates a path to show our three protagonists, Emma, Norman, and Ray. And this likely represents the truth finally hitting them and being aware that they are not just in an orphanage, but they are actually cattle for an unknown species they call demons. This then cuts to a white flower and a butterfly having the bottom half of its wings being chopped off. The butterfly is very important as it appears 3 more times in the opening, each with a great meaning, which I'll explain later on in the video. Then after the na 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 na, well, after that begins, we see a determined Emma reaching forward with these black lines pulling her back. We cut to a scene showing Gracefield House and our 3 protagonists on a tree looking at the sun rising. We then get to see the title of the anime, Yakusoku no Neverland, or The Promised Neverland. And here's where we get a small break in the song before the intensity comes back in the verse. It starts with a match burning up. This also has a lot of foreshadowing, which we'll talk about later on in the video. We then get a montage of the 3 protagonists, starting off with the one and only Emma. This shows her in yellow, representing hope, as we see her full of life and determination. We also get to see how much she truly loves her family, as she is the only one who shows the younger children and Norman and Ray in her spotlight. We then cut to Norman in blue, where he shows 3 distinct faces. The first one is him smiling. The second one has more of a sympathetic look. Most likely, it's something that goes to Emma, in regards to Emma, and because he likes her. And the third one is a face that shows a face that tells us that nothing will stand in his way for Emma or his family. This one is different than the determination face that Emma has, because Norman is actually willing to do anything to achieve their escape, even if it means getting his hands dirty. Again, this is foreshadowing of the possible solutions or actions that they have to take to escape from the house. The last one focuses on Ray. Now, Ray is very different in that the other two, they're looking at the camera, and this one he never looks involved. He never looks at the camera and is always observing. This is a perfect representation of how he is throughout the show. He likes working indirectly and only shows his action at the very end when needed. This is when you see him walk by the camera and look down at us as he covers the screen with his hand. One thing to mention is the background of each of the characters during their spotlight. All of them have a puzzle piece design behind them, but with a different background. Emma's is one of a room where Emma and Norman go into in episode 2 to make their makeshift ropes to get over the wall. Norman's has symbols of owls, which are symbols they find in books in the library that have Morse code messages in them, give them hope for a future outside of Gracefield, and warnings. And they find a name in there from the books that reads William Minerva. But I would say that wrong. He is a key symbol of hope for Emma and the others later on in the series. And you see they also notes hanging on the wall showing their plans in the show, and you also see all the clues that they have obtained and information they have obtained through questions and just wandering around. And then we go to Ray. Now, Ray has gears in his background, which symbolizes how he is like a robot, as will be shown in the show, plus how he invents an important device central to their escape. We then get to see all of the children with Mama and with a new adult, which we just saw in episode 2, Sister Crone. Notice how it looks like they are all standing in front of a police line that marks their height. Again, this symbolizes how everyone, even Mama and Sister Crone, are not safe from the demons. We then get to see the number on Emma's neck, and the next scene is her appearing to be down, but remember, looks can be deceiving. Again, this is a foreshadowing of how Emma will be on later on in the series. We then get to see a clip of Dawn and Gilda. They play an important role later on in the series during the climax of the first arc. We then see the butterfly again, looking as if it's trying to escape. We then cut to Mama, who puts a huge smile on her face after looking down at her locator and closing with a smug look. We then cut back to the butterfly, who gets the bottom half of its wings cut off again. The butterfly getting its wings cut off signifies the setbacks the kids get. The first one is the revelation that they are cattle, and the other one being the fact that Mama is their enemy and is the one that is determined to stop them. The next scene is Sister Crony lovingly embracing the kids. Now, this is also showing Sister Crony's ambition to be Mama, as well as being two-faced. So you actually see her maniacal face appearing first before she goes ahead and grabs the kids. Now, notice also how she's not really seen with Mama, which shows that they are not really working together and that they both have different goals in mind when it comes to Gracefield House. You do get, again, you really have to notice her face, because it does, again, foreshadow of how she acts and how she will act towards versus the kids versus the three protagonists. The next important scene is the flower changing colors from white to red, signifying death, and the flower that was in the middle of Connie's chest when they found her body. Now, again, you'll see this again later on in the series with another death that, again, I won't go into, but you'll see it again in another person's chest. We then get a scene where Norman, Ray, and Emma are in a circle. Now, there's an important reason why it looks like Norman and Ray are looking at Emma, and it's because of their true means of escaping. Both have different routes and adjust their plans, while Emma is unwavering in her plans to escape. But none of that really matters, as they put their hands in the middle, showing their unity in their cause. We then have this red string that seems to be surrounding them. As some of you might know, the red string typically symbolizes fate, more importantly between two people fated to be together. But there are some key differences in this red string surrounding them. One, you don't see the end of the string tied to another person or to a destination. The other thing to notice is that the show is giving us a clear message that the kids will not accept the fate and that they will change it. We see this as the red string is actually shown to be a fuse. This also demonstrates two things. One is them destroying their fate, and the second one is foreshadowing that an explosion will be a key part in their escape. We're then treated to the kids running in the forest as the chorus picks up. This shows the physical prowess and training that they are doing to escape, while at the same time showing the characteristics of the cast. Emma running with her huge smile, Norman with his determination, and Ray being stoic as ever. We then see the kids all together looking at us while with serious looks on their faces. Not all the kids are shown, just the ones that come to find out the truth about the house. We end with our three main protagonists running with Emma in the middle, punching through a wall. We see them break through, and we see the wall to be puzzle pieces. The importance of the puzzle backgrounds and the puzzle wall here comes from the manga, where they keep talking about wanting to solve the puzzle of the house and of the world to see what's really going on. We finally end the scene with Emma with a huge smile on her face, and we see the butterfly flying away and escaping with the light as its guide. Honestly, this opening has tons of foreshadowing in it, but again, can only really be noticed if someone has read the manga. It does a great job of getting you hyped up for the show without spilling the big twist in an obvious way. For example, like normal shonen openings, more specifically Naruto openings. And let's not forget about the song. Now, Uverworld came out with the song last year with My Hero Academia Season 3, and although it was divided among fans, I loved that opening. And again, they come in again with this opening with a great song, and it keeps us pumped up while giving us lyrics that reflect what the kids are thinking about. There's, again, this is not correct translating, but according to Google, Translate, they keep talking about how there's no God, but that they still keep wishing, and that they're trying to find a fuse. Again, and all these are or stuff that's gonna happen in the show, or maybe things that they think about, especially the one thing about them, they're not being a real god. But let me get back onto topic. So Uverworld, the J-Rock style with the saxophone is a great mixture of dance music mixed with the typical determination, influence, and sound that are in most shonen opening. Plus, no one can resist singing to the na 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 na. Well, there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this breakdown, and I'll see you when I start reviewing the episodes of this show. So I should be starting that with episode 4. I just wanna wait till we get a little bit more information from the episode, so that I can start talking about it. So if you like this video, leave me a like and comment below. This is David the Smash Fan, and I'm out.